Alright, welcome back. I'm going to do lesson plan 2 of my 6-day unit plan, day 2. Date is March 6th, 2013, 8 a.m. The lesson title is alcohol use. I'm going to teach the students, my class, a little bit about using alcohol. Health education standards will be 1, 3, and 4. Students will comprehend concepts related to health promotion and disease prevention to enhance health. Students will demonstrate the ability to access valid information, products, and services to enhance health. And 4, students will demonstrate demonstrate the ability to use interpersonal communication skills to enhance health and avoid or reduce health risks. National Health Education Standards Performance Indicator. Students will provide thorough knowledge in order to enhance health. Students will demonstrate the ability to apply decision-making skill to resolve conflict in order to benefit from situation by being a thorough problem solver. Valued outcomes. First of all, I want students to express thorough knowledge of alcohol. I want them to learn about it, research about it, know that it's, can be bad for you. Students will be able to apply their knowledge about alcohol, and I want them to learn about alcohol level. So I want them to learn about these things, and the most important, alcohol level. I want them to students will realize the importance of what could happen when using alcohol. So we got health risk factors. What can happen when you consume alcohol. Students will show knowledge of why you shouldn't use alcohol underage. So again, I will have students research about alcohol, and I will have them in a group discussion each participate in why underage alcohol is bad. Description of strategy. Educating students about alcohol and share a personal story. So I will create a PowerPoint teaching students about alcohol, what it is, what it does to your body, and then I will share a personal story about alcohol. When I was in middle school, my mother's fiance used to drink a lot, and he actually passed away from cirrhosis of the liver. His liver pretty much gave out on him, and that's the story I would use to students. Kind of a scare tactic to not use alcohol. I will assign each student a certain kind of alcoholic concoction to research. So in other words, liquor, beer, wine. Okay, I'll assign students any one of these three, beer, say Miller Lite. Liquor, what we got here? We got Windsor, and wine, maybe some Moscato. I will assign each student a alcoholic concoction that they will do research on. For example, Miller Lite, which is a beer. I want each student to research about that. Students should look up for alcoholic content and explain what it is, and research risk factors. So I want them to, while they're researching their alcoholic concoction, I want them to know alcoholic level. What alcoholic level is contained in beer or liquor or Windsor. I want them to know that. I want them to know the risk factors. So risk factors of beer, liquor, wine, what they are assigned. Have each student present their research and explain what alcohol level is. So students will present on their alcoholic concoction, they will present on their alcoholic level, health risk factors, and why underage drinking is bad. I want them to express thorough knowledge of their alcoholic drink and health risk factors. As a class discussion, have students provide risk factors and consequences of using alcohol at a young age. So we're going to engage in a class discussion. I want each student to participate and provide some health risk factors, maybe just one per person. I want them or one to explain why, and I will go off of the student if they're correct or incorrect and explain to the whole class or student body why it is dangerous to use alcohol at underage. I will then have each student get out a piece of paper and a pen, submit a paragraph on why it is bad to drink underage. Then, I'll have them hand it in, I'll grade it, and then we'll talk a little bit about it, why it's bad. Because as a class discussion, we already talked about it, but I want it to be engraved in their minds. This is the youth of America we're developing here. We want to make sure that they're not using alcohol. Materials needed, they're going to need a computer. We'll go to the computer lab if there's one. Pen or paper, and basically just their thinking caps. Benchmarks, formative evaluation. Students are able to identify what alcohol is. They are able to know what this is. Students are able to identify alcoholic content level. Students should be able to tell me what that is. Each student should be able to tell me what alcoholic level is. Students are able to identify health risks of using alcohol. So this right here, I want them, each student, to express knowledge of some risk factors, and we'll engage in all this in a class discussion. Students were able to explain why it's important to avoid alcohol under 21. And again, I'm looking for these risk factors: alcohol level, alcohol use. Why is that bad for underage drinking? Students were able to engage in presenting their research as well as engage in class discussion. Again, I want full participation out of each student. Each student is going to be assigned their own alcoholic concoction, so I want them to express and present thorough research. Point of emphasis, please explain what alcohol and your assigned alcohol concoction is. So they'll know what this is, alcohol, and they'll be able to explain their alcoholic beverage that I assign them to do research on. For example, Miller Lite. They will be able to explain the health risks of alcohol. Right here, health risk factors. Why is it so bad to do it? What causes? What can the alcoholic lead to? And explain why it's smart to avoid alcohol under the age of 21 years old. Those three are the points of emphasis. That's what I want them to engage in their mind. So there you have it. That's lesson 2, lesson titled Alcohol Use. That's basically after the next day after drug use. I know that it's kind of hard to have them present research 6 days in a row or 2 days in a row and present the research, but it's important and it's a health class, so I believe that engaging in classroom, engaging with your peers and other students, I believe that's the best way of learning. So there you have it. Thank you very much.